So say someone comes in and they have shoulder pain or anxiety or what have you, you can treat them on the ear.
Wow.
Right? And the ears, and these are the ones, the little guys that you would put in the ear. So I'll just start before we get off into the maybe less tangible things. The military uses ear acupuncture. They use NADA protocol. They use the ear treatment, battlefield acupuncture. So if someone's injured, they can put the needle in. So treating the ear is widely used in quite a few venues. If you're trying to quit smoking, for instance, or you've decided to make a change and stop drinking or release yourself from addiction, it's a 5-needle protocol called NADA protocol that you put this 5 needles, you put them in the ear. It helps calm cravings. It helps settle the emotions. Really outstandingly wonderful. And so what I often do with ear stuff is if someone is needle timid, they just aren't quite convinced, I will bring out the ear and I'll talk to them about, if I put a seed, an ear seed, and I'll show you, an ear seed right here, this helps you feel calmer. And you can wear that ear seed home and rub the ear seed, and it stimulates the nerves and will help settle you down. And so the ear seeds, this is a little palette of seeds. It looks like a Band-Aid. On the other side, there's an actual seed.
Okay. It's so tiny, though. It looks like maybe a little, a sesame seed or something.
Exactly.
It's tiny.
They're really, really super small. And so, and I can take this off for you, and you can take a look yourself. But I'll show people, you just can put this ear seed right on the ear here, and it stimulates points. So that's one way. Another great thing about the ear treatment is if a person wants to lose weight, you can put ear seeds on so that they go home and they have food cravings, and they can massage the ear seed, and it helps them to sort of lessen the food cravings. So the ear is really exciting. And then what I personally use ear stuff besides weight loss, because I do work with weight loss people, is I do a lot of work with Ehlers-Danlos people, and that is a genetic disease, and it affects collagen production in youth.
Oh, wow.
So hypermobility syndrome, but really extreme. So this population may or may not work well with the the acupuncture needles. So rather than put a bunch of needles in the shoulder, put one needle in the ear, and that will affect the shoulder. You've heard of reflexology in the feet, right? Same idea. You're treating a distal area instead of the local spot.
Wow. I have very limited experience with acupuncture. I received a little bit of acupuncture on my ear many years ago.
Okay.
But I know for a lot of people, the fear is of the needles. And I was hoping maybe you could talk a little bit about
The needles, absolutely. You're right. Most people, if you stop someone on the street and say, have you tried acupuncture? And they haven't, and you say, are you interested? Oh, I'm scared of the needles. You don't have to be scared of the needles. I actually brought some needles, and I understand this is a podcast, so I'm going to describe these needles, and then people who go to the YouTube and watch on the YouTube can actually see. So there are super tiny hand needles that are roughly the size of your fingernail.
Well, those are so tiny, I can barely even see the needle itself. Very tiny.
Exactly.
It's like maybe not even the length of my fingernail, honestly.
Yep, that's about that. And so for those, for instance, what I use those the most, and we can talk about this as things progress, is facial rejuvenation. So if you're working on somebody's wrinkles on thin facial skin, you use the real tiny ones. These ones here are a little bit longer. So those are about the distance of the tip of your finger to the first knuckle. So they're a little bit bigger than the fingernail, but not so much bigger. And that size is typically used for ear acupuncture.
Okay.
Also, if you're working on the face. And then I use those on people who have never had acupuncture before and maybe they're a little scared of the needles, just to give them a start with something real gentle. This one is a little more typical. It's about maybe the length of, maybe 2 inches or so. You use that size on maybe larger muscles, not real big. And then I brought this as a joke because really the reality is the one that's about the length of your hand for large muscles. So if you get a really big person with sciatica and you're putting, in the buttock or the thigh there, you use a longer needle. This isn't usual.
Okay.
Yeah, normally, if we're talking the big guys for sciatica, it's about this size. Okay. But the reason why I brought
And you could imagine that if you had, a really muscular person with a really, because the glutes and hamstrings and stuff, I mean, those are big, big muscles. So you could understandably would need something a little bit more intense.
Absolutely. But if we just look at that, you see there's a variety of sizes. Pardon me. Variety of sizes, a variety of thicknesses, and your practitioner's going to listen to you. If you've never had acupuncture before, we really don't bring the big guns out to scare you. We'll bring out the little ones. Maybe we'll do less needles.
Right.
You don't need a ton of needles to effect a wonderful cure.
Okay, and then how deep into the skin do they usually go? And I guess it would vary depending on the needle.
It really depends on what you're trying to do. So if you have, for instance, like I said, the buttock or the thigh, where we're working big needles, maybe it's going to go in 3 or 4 inches. But those are big muscles, and you just pop that needle right in, and it goes right in, and it doesn't hurt. The ones that hurt are things like on the fingers, the toes. Like if you're working on the little areas, but you really would not do that on someone's first. Like you want to build trust with people.
Right.
There are other things you can do without popping the needles in spots where you already know that you have to say, okay, breathe in, and as you breathe out, I'm going to put that needle in and it'll be over before you know it. That's not how you start.
So very easy to adapt to someone who has some fears or a little apprehension.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool. And then can you just talk a little bit about, I guess, the science behind acupuncture? Like exactly what is being, created through the use of the needles?
Absolutely. So people may have heard of qi or energy, balance. So what I try and do with people who have maybe never tried acupuncture or they don't know anything about traditional Chinese medicine is like a bilingual classroom where you're speaking both languages. I try and help people to see it in a way that makes sense. So in Chinese medicine, what matters is balance. In Western medicine, we talk about homeostasis. So not too much of one thing, not too little of the other. You want that right balance of just enough of whatever the qualities, right? So you put that needle in and there's a micro trauma. Maybe there's going to be a release of endorphins. You can loosen up a tight muscle. Most people have heard of dry needling by now. You needle into, in Chinese medicine, rather than a trigger point, you say ashi point. So asha point is just aha right here, ouch, that's the one that hurts. And you put the needle in and it loosens up that tight spot so that there's a good flow there. And that is how you effect the cure.
Okay.
Yeah, just get things moving.
And then you have this wonderful ear here. Can we talk about this gigantic ear? It's about the size of my hand, and it appears to have a bunch of little points on it. And, we see teeth, toes, tonsil.
Yep, yep.
Small intestine, large intestine. Can you talk a little bit about this?
Absolutely. So the magic ear, I use this when people come in and we could do a full hour or 3 on the magic ear of wonder. Auricular therapy, ear acupuncture, is but one way that we can treat somebody. And so say someone comes in and they have shoulder pain or anxiety or what have you, you can treat them on the ear.
Wow.
Right? And the ears, and these are the ones, the little guys that you would put in the ear. So I'll just start before we get off into the maybe less tangible things. The military uses ear acupuncture. They use not a protocol. They use the ear treatment, battlefield acupuncture. So if someone's injured, they can put the needle in. So treating the ear is widely used in quite a few venues. If you're trying to quit smoking, for instance, or you've decided to make a change and stop drinking or release yourself from addiction, it's a 5-needle protocol called not a protocol that you put there's 5 needles, you put them in the ear. Helps calm cravings, it helps settle the emotions, really outstandingly wonderful. And so what I often do with ear stuff is if someone is needle timid, they just aren't quite convinced, I will bring out the ear and I'll talk to them about, if I put a seed, an ear seed, and I'll show you, an ear seed right here, this helps you feel calmer. And you can wear that ear seed home and rub the ear seed, and it stimulates the nerves and will help settle you down. And so the ear seeds, this is a little palette of seeds. It looks like a Band-Aid. On the other side, there's an actual seed.
Okay. It's so tiny, though. It looks like maybe a little... a sesame seed or something. It's
Exactly.
tiny.
They're really, really super small. And I can take this off for you, and you can take a look yourself. But I'll show people, you just can put this ear seed right on the ear here, and it stimulates points. So that's one way. Another great thing about the ear treatment is if a person wants to lose weight, you can put ear seeds on, so that they go home and they have food cravings, and they can massage the ear seed, and it helps them to sort of lessen the food cravings. So the ear is really exciting. And then what I personally use ear stuff, besides weight loss, because I do work with weight loss people, is I do a lot of work with Ehlers-Danlos people, and that is a genetic disease, and it affects collagen production in youth.
Oh, wow. So
hypermobility syndrome, but really extreme. So this population may or may not work well with the the acupuncture needles. So rather than put a bunch of needles in the shoulder, put one needle in the ear, and that will affect the shoulder. You've heard of reflexology in the feet, right? Mm-hmm. Same idea. You're treating a distal area instead of the local spot.
Wow. And so it's interesting because as, I'm looking at this ear, there's, the abdomen, the buttock, sciatic nerve right here, like up in the little crest, where interestingly... Yeah, man, so interesting. So in the feet and then also in the hands, right? Is there also kind of this like representation of the entire body? Can you talk a little bit about how that works and maybe how did they even discover that?
Chinese scholarship, Chinese medical scholarship is really dependent on observation and the practice. And so Chinese medicine, record of Chinese medicine goes back to the Stone Age.
Wow.
We could have a conversation that goes on forever about that. But they are absolute masters at using the body as part of your body, yourself, as part of the big picture. So as is the universe, so are you. Everything is the little version of something bigger, right? Wow. It's all really relational. So what's super exciting then, the feet are thrilling and so are the hands. I could just go on forever. But when you treat someone, for instance, the feet, you can, gosh, where to even start? Okay, I do a lot of footwork. For instance, if a person has a Morton's neuroma, which is that, painful in between the second and the third toes, bunched up muscle around a nerve, and it hurts like crazy and feels like there's a pebble in the shoe. That is a concrete ailment that can send someone to the podiatrist. Maybe they get a shot, maybe they end up having to get a surgery. There's no need to do that. You can go and get either acupuncture, Twina, which is the manual bodywork therapy. There's lots to be done with that. Or, as with reflexology, for instance, it's real common to get between the fourth and the fifth toe right here, and that area working on that area will help with the neck and the shoulders. So I'll say, does this hurt? And the person says yes, and I work on it, and then they sit up and they say, wow, my neck feels so much better.
Wow.
It's amazing. It's amazing. And so hands are super exciting because, for one thing, the skeleton is a beautiful thing. If you ever have the chance to look at a skeleton, the skeleton is a marvel. So finger bones, foot bones and finger bones are just gorgeous. But what makes the hands so thrilling, hands are so full of nerves, they're so vulnerable.
Right.
Hands are such beautiful things. So working on someone's hands, you can so soothe them in so many ways and do so many things for a person with their hands. So hands and feet are wonderful, and ears are the same way. You work on a part for the whole, and there's a distal effect elsewhere.
Wow. And then you have a lot of other little interesting items here. Are these also for use with acupuncture, or?
Absolutely. So going from acupuncture is the needles, right? So when you're putting a needle in someone, that is acupuncture. Traditional Chinese medicine is so much more than just acupuncture. We have dietary therapy, so how well you're eating, what you're eating, keeping your gut healthy. There is herbal treatment, including moxibustion. I'll talk about that in a little bit. Twina is the manual therapy, similar to getting a massage. That's a big one. Qigong, breath work, so energy, moving the energy. Like you think in the United States, most people, they think about energy work. They immediately think about yoga. And yoga is marvelous, don't get me wrong. But Chinese medicine has its own form of breath and body movement. And so that would be Qigong and Tai Chi.
Very cool.
So lots of ways to keep yourself healthy.
If you'd like to hear this full episode, it's available for free on your favorite podcast apps, including Apple Podcasts and Spotify. To view the full video version of this episode and hundreds of life-changing health and wellness videos, head over to wellnessplus.tv or become a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/Psychetruth. All of the links are available for you down in the description below, and if you enjoyed this content, be sure to subscribe and click that notification bell.
We at Wellness Plus specialize in all things health and wellness, ranging from yoga and fitness to massage and ASMR. Whether you are looking to target specific areas of tension or want to enhance your general self-care routine, we provide the tools you need to feel better, look better, and live better. We have courses for every level, whether you're just starting out or you're a seasoned pro. Our courses provide a wide range in difficulty to accommodate your evolving flow.
Welcome back to Yoga with Jess. We are going to break down some really essential postures.
We are going to rock out with some of the most essential ab exercises that you need to have the abs that you've always dreamed of.
I've blended techniques to help you connect with students, and you can be a rock star teacher.
Wellness Plus is available on your phone, tablet, or TV. Join Wellness Plus today and get your first 7 days free.